evening, everyone. I'm glad you could make it. This is our first, hopefully, annual meeting for fifth grade parents going to sixth grade. And the reason that we decided to have a meeting this year was really to talk about placements. Because as our courses get more diverse and high school courses and programs that they offer, besides traditional track, get more diverse, some of our programs here do have implications for what they're planning to do in high school. So we want to make sure that everybody's really clear on what our programs are, how we do our placements, so that when you get your student schedule next year in the summer, you'll have a better idea of how they're there and what you can expect for the next 3 years. How many of you have middle schoolers or have a student that already came through the middle school program? About a quarter. So some of this may be new to you, and other parts of it you are familiar with. But I can tell you, I can relate to those who are new to middle school. I have a fourth, a sixth, and an eighth grader. And even though I do this every day for a living, and I eat and breathe and sleep, curriculum and placements, I was very nervous going in for my own ninth grader to choose the high school courses. I was there as if I had not all seen all of these things. And I was probably in a better position than those people. So I understand that it is nerve-wracking to try to make decisions and to know what the expectations are for your kids coming out. Tonight's presentation is simply on our placements. We're only going to be talking about our academic programs. There is going to be another program for both your students and for parents about as an orientation to the school, the clubs and the lockers and all the other questions that you have will come later in the year. And the students will have a chance to come out and get familiar with the environment as well. So tonight we're just going to talk about academics. I want to introduce you to a few people who do not know. This is Mr. Paul Iantosca. At the door, he is the school principal, so you'll get to know him well, and he'll be leading the orientation. And with him is our assistant principal, Seth Corman, and he will be talking tonight because he does a lot of our scheduling. He does all of the scheduling. So he has a fun summer plan where we do all of our placements. He has to make sure that all of your student schedules actually work. The second slide, and this slideshow will be available on our website, has all of the contacts. So if you do have questions, you can reach me, or Mr. Iantosca, Mr. Corman, and also the two school counselors. They are divided by student last name, so you will be assigned a counselor for your 3 years here at Valley View, and you can contact them with questions. They will typically deal with your students once they actually arrive here in the fall, because Mr. Corman and Mr. Iantosca and myself will really be doing the placements and scheduling before they come. So your typical schedule for your sixth graders, these are the courses that they're going to be taking. They all will take English language arts and math, science, social studies. They will take cycle courses, which are electives. They will take PE and health, art of writing, and world language. So there are some new changes to these courses, even if you have students in the program that are new for our upcoming group of sixth graders. The two that we do placements for are English language arts and math. Students will have some choice, and Mr. Corman will talk about that, in their electives this year. In the past, we ran our cycles differently, and students tasted all of those courses, and this year they're going to have some choices. Our world language program is also changing, so your students are going to be the first group coming through that are going to have the opportunity to make their way all the way, possibly through the second level. So full high school course, first level of language, second level, and then head to the third level of high school. That's an option. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So when we do our placements, for English language arts, there are 3 parts to our placements. We look at, for ELA, we look at our reading and writing levels, we look at our behavioral checklist, and we look at our teacher recommendation. So the teacher, your 5th grade teacher, has a big part in 2 of those things. Their behavioral checklist and their teacher recommendation. Their scores that they've been taking on Star Renaissance, they've been doing their benchmark reading tests all year that you've been seeing on the report card, and also their benchmark writing. Those are the things that we look at for one of the pieces. We consider all 3 of those pieces for English language arts. For math, the students will be taking a placement test. That happens in the first week of June. They will also be using the behavior checklist, which is their work habits, and a teacher recommendation. So again, your 5th grade teacher has a significant role in the placement, but we do look at their content and skill development to determine that the class is the right fit for them. So in those 2, we do have 3 levels. And this is new. checklist. People often ask me, what's the behavior checklist? We're not talking about behaviors in class. Do they raise their hands or talk out, or do they get in trouble? It's not those types of behaviors. It is simply their work habits. So we're looking at, do they demonstrate risk? Do they demonstrate leadership ability? Do they try things when they're difficult? Do they complete their homework? Those are really strong indicators, both by experience of teachers and also research that tells us students who have better work habits are going to be able to handle the harder courses. So content and skill level is not the only thing we look at, because students may know some of the knowledge, but don't have the ability to actually perform in a class and really struggle. And once they get up to the middle school, now we're talking about letter grades, which lead into high school programs. So we need to make sure that they're able to work at the grade level and at the proficiency level that they need to get. So the teachers will fill out this work habits, and they determine if this is a behavior that that student never does, or occasionally do it, or frequently, or almost always do those behaviors. So that's what we're looking at. How frequently are they doing those behaviors throughout their entire 5th grade year? We also look at their motivational behaviors. Once those pieces are collected, we will look to place the students in 3 levels of language arts. That is new this year. In the past, we've had 2 levels of language arts, our core language arts and our advanced core language arts. This year, we've added an additional class called accelerated language arts. The reason why we added this 3rd course, we found that we had students nearing grade level or on grade level for both reading and writing. And then we had students that were above grade level, like 2 grade levels above in both reading and writing. But then we had this 3rd group whose writing was on grade level, but reading was more than like 2 grades or above. So we had strong readers, but writing was developmentally appropriate, but not ready for the advanced class, or for the accelerated class. So we divided it into 3 courses. So next year, it will probably look like majority of the students would be taking our core language arts, because that's grade level. Then we have students who, you can look at your DRA and your reading scores on your report cards. Are they reading above grade level? If they're reading above grade level, but are writing at grade level, then they're likely going to be recommended for the advanced course. If they are reading and writing above in both those areas, it would probably be about 10% of the students, maybe less, 1 class, of accelerated. So how we look at those again are those 3 criteria. Students on grade level will go into the core. We're looking for an 80% on their reading and writing, and 80% on the behavioral checklist, and a teacher recommendation for the advanced. Students that are at 90% of those behaviors all of the time, and are reading and writing about 2 grade levels above, will be recommended for the accelerated. For the math. For math, the one difference is that the students take a placement test. Half of this placement test is 5th grade material. So they have been learning this material all year, and it is out so grade for their end of the 5th grade material. So we're trying to give them 1 test only and use that material multiple, or that data multiple times. So that's the test that is their end of the year grade. It's their benchmark for 5th grade. It also tells us if they accomplished and learned the 5th grade material. The second portion of the test is a pre-assessment for pre-algebra. Students have not learned pre-algebra, they're not expected to have the pre-algebra, but some of the students have the ability to reason out the questions, and it is an assessment of whether or not they have the aptitude to do algebra. And it's not, do they learn it? Because we didn't teach it. But every year we have students that demonstrate the aptitude to do the algebra at a younger age. All of your students will probably have the aptitude by the time they get to 9th grade, but some of them are ready to start at 6th grade. They take this assessment, we score it, we combine it with the score of the teacher recommendation, as well as their behavior checklist again to see how are their work behaviors in math, and we place them in the core math, the advanced, and the pre-algebra class. It's the same criteria. We're looking at 80% of those behaviors for the advanced class, 90% of the behaviors for the pre-algebra class. hitch with the pre-algebra, where it gets a little tricky. The pre-algebra is not advanced 6th grade math. There are a lot of your students who could probably take pre-algebra. What you have to consider is where this will lead them for high school. Because the next level of coursework is as follows. At the end of 6th grade, and you have the flow chart in front of you, at the end of 6th grade, everybody takes the algebra aptitude test. It's the Iowas. Many of us took it when we were younger to see what the aptitude for algebra is. Are they developmentally ready? So maybe they showed it at 6th grade, maybe you start at the end of 5th grade, but it's okay if your student didn't, because we're going to test them again at the end of 6th grade, and maybe they're ready at the end of 6th grade. It's okay if they're not ready then again, because they're going to have plenty of opportunities. Our traditional track doesn't do Algebra 1 until 9th grade. We offer it here starting in 7th. So those students who take pre-algebra and are successful would move on to high school honors algebra 1 as a 7th grader. They would move on to high school honors geometry as an 8th grader. Okay, that's already 2 high school courses down before they left Valley View. So that means you have to look at what are you expecting your child to do in high school. Because if you were planning for them to maybe go to the math science magnet, or the math IB program, or you were going to take 4 years and get to AP calculus, then that's probably not a path that you want to push your child to. If you look on the opposite side of the paper, I've color-coded it. So at the bottom, our 8th grade programs, we have pre-algebra in one track, we have honors algebra 1 as another, and then we have as an 8th grade honors geometry. So we have kids taking high school courses as 8th graders. What does that do to them in 9th grade or for them if you turn it over? It does not count as high school credit. It will not count in their GPA. What it does do is it knocks off 2 prerequisite courses. So let's say they took the geometry. They're done with those 2. Now they're ready to go on to honors algebra 2 as a freshman. You cannot take algebra 2 any longer. Once they're in that honors track, they're now in honors algebra 2. As a freshman. So you have to decide, is that where you want them to be? That's why I'm saying it's not like advanced 6th grade. Advanced is advanced 6th grade. Pre-algebra is a different track, and there will be probably 10% of the students who may be interested in taking science and math at the magnet, or at the County School of Technology, or the IB program, and they're already looking at this green path. If they take geometry with us, they're taking honors algebra 2, follow the green, then they're taking pre-calculus honors, and then they're going to AP, and then they're going to calculus. Even if you don't take it here, it doesn't mean your student couldn't go on that path later. Because right now, there are students in the high school that they didn't take that here. They took it in the summer to double up, they took 2 classes as a freshman, took 2 classes as a sophomore. The reason we put these programs in place was so that some of our students didn't have to double up. So freshman year, they weren't taking geometry and algebra 2 because those kids aren't planning, we want to calculus. And that's where we want to be. We want to go to the math science magnet. So for some of those students, that's the right path. It's not the right path for everyone. So I just don't want to get caught up in that. We do have some parents here that have been through the program that were our first cohort and know that for some students, it's definitely the path. It doesn't mean you're not the strongest math student if you decide you want them to take one high school course in middle school. About 44% of our students will take algebra 1 by the end of it. So a lot of them do. They just don't all do the job. So that middle track, again, we have probably 25% are going to take the algebra as 8th grader, and we have about 10% taking geometry. The reason I'm sharing with that is I've had questions when people come back from high school and like, what's going to happen to them when they get up there? Because you definitely want to take 4 years of math in high school. You do not want to skip 12th grade just because your kids have filled the requirements. Skipping 12th grade math is a bad plan if you're going to college, because then they have a whole year that they did not take math, and now they're going into very challenging math as a freshman in college. So this last green track is for the kid who's definitely taking 4 years of math. Probably said enough. Thanks. the general questions that I usually get asked. When are the placements told to the parents? When do you find out? You will find out at the end of the school year or within a week. We have it done and sent out before June 30th. Because Mr. Gorman has to start the schedule. And it takes a long time to make the schedules because everyone in here is probably going to have a different path. And we have to have which one's going to advanced this and for this and which electives they pick. So there's a lot of scheduling that has to happen. Should you have any questions about that, contact us right when you get it. Because deciding in August that maybe you either want to change your mind and your child was recommended for pre-algebra and that's not the path you want to do, or opposite, you're right on the border of the pre-algebra, you want them to try it, you've got to let us know so that we can make those changes. Those changes can be made early. It's really difficult in August because the schedules are set. And when you change one thing, your child's whole schedule changes. So we want to make sure to do that right away. You will not receive the results from the Wenzhou checklist or the actual score of the test. If you want to call me and find out what was their overall score, you have concerns with their placement, you're welcome to do that over the summer. I'll share that with you. But for the integrity of our teachers and make sure that they're giving us accurate recommendations, we do not release that, like each actual score to the parents. Because otherwise, we want to make sure that they're being honest and that they feel comfortable telling us where the child should be. Which is also difficult. I know we've had conferences. It's difficult for the teachers sometimes when you ask them, are you going to recommend my child for pre-algebra? Are you going to recommend my child for advanced language arts? They don't want to, that's an uncomfortable conversation. So they want to tell you, this is where your child is now. Let's take the placement assessments and then we'll make it based on those things. So their recommendation does count. After we have all of the placements, I give the list back to the teachers and I say, take one last look. Is there anyone that is misplaced? That yes, the score worked out a certain way, but you know them best. Is that the right place for them? And every year we have a few, the teachers say, this is a student that works so hard, I really want them to try this level. Or this is a student that really struggles, so I have concerns about putting in a certain course. So we do defer to them. And then what if my child's recommended, as it says, for pre-algebra, but we want to take the else? Just something else. Just call us and let us know that you're thinking, I'd like them to get the Algebra 1 before they leave here, but I'm not going to do the geometry. Just let us know and we'll keep it. Mr. Corman, I'd like to talk a little bit about, again, this is a change for us with our cycle courses. In the past, we've had 5, 6 years.
Do I do that?
The video you do, actually. The video camera doesn't change.
Okay, so if you currently have a child here in Valley View or have a child go through Valley View, you know that we've offered 5 cycle courses. And they've had each of those cycle courses. To infuse some of the changes we want to make, we're going to change the way our cycles run. Every cycle will only be a marking period. Well, if that's the case, they can't have 5 in it. Okay? So every child will get 4 cycles so that we can make it a marking period long instead of 18 days, which was really 36 classes. This is going to give them a little more time in those cycles. The other change we're making is health. If you have a child here, you can realize that health is really one marking period because they meet every other day for a semester. So we're going to make that into a cycle. So every student will have health every single day for a mark. The other cycle that we feel is extremely important here is our STEM cycle. So every student goes through the STEM cycle. So I originally told you they were going to have 4, but I've taken two of them away. That leads us to the last 2. What we're going to do sometime the end of May into June, working with our technology department and Genesis, we're going to send you kind of like a survey for you to rank the remaining cycles, which are family and consumer science, computers, art, and music. You're going to rank them 1 to 4, 1 being your child's first choice, and all the way down to 4. Our their top 2 choices and then fill in that last marking period based off of numbers, scheduling, all those things. But we will not promise the top 2. We will do our best to get them to hit one of those top 2. So that's where the 4 cycles come. So again, health will be one of them, STEM will be one of them, and then they'll get to choose, which is something new that we're going to try. Dr. Cullis asked that I talk about foreign language too. So we're making a change to foreign language as well. As you can see, I have a great summer. It's going to be really fun. So, again, right now, every 6th grader has French for a marking period, Spanish for a marking period. Every 7th grader, same thing. And then at the end of their 7th grade year, they take a test if they want to be considered for a full year program in 8th grade. We're going to change that starting next year. So the incoming 6th graders will take Spanish for a semester or 2 marking periods, and then French for a semester or 2 marking periods. At the end of 6th grade, based off of an assessment and teacher recommendation, we're going to identify, again, a small group of students to take Spanish 1 or French 1 as 7th graders. Students that don't fall into that category will take like a 1A, a Spanish 1A, or a French 1A. The students who went into Spanish 1 or French 1 as 7th graders will move on to French or Spanish 2 as 8th graders. This way they finish 2 full years of a foreign language and will enter 9th grade being able to take the 3rd level of that language. All of the other students who took the 1A will take 1B as 8th graders, and then at the end of 8th grade year, going into freshman year, they would have completed a full year of either Spanish or French, allowing them to start 9th grade at level 2 of that foreign language. Fancy name for cooking.
Home ec, but it's not cooking.
But they're
It's soy milk.
is cooking. That's all they need.
So students at the end of 6th grade will be selected. Do you want to take French? Do you want to take Spanish? And then they'll go over that. Okay. And then the high school, they are able to take whatever level we recommend when they leave here. However, they could also start at the very beginning of another language, because the high school has no language. So they can pick something else. Do they have a talent? Okay. We have another, I know you have more languages than talent. So you can pick, starting over with another language in high school, should you choose. They have to take the same high school curriculum as our high school. That's true of all of our high school courses. That's great. Thank you, Jenny, for bringing it up. All of our high school courses are the high school curriculum. They actually work with our teachers here to make sure that we're in sync with the high school. They take their tests, their curriculum, their textbooks. We're all the same. So any of the high school courses, high school level courses, they do have to pass the high school test. And that, along that line with testing, I'm glad you mentioned that. As of 2021, this year's 8th grade, the 2 pieces of part that students have to pass to graduate are Algebra 1 and High School Language Arts 10. They have to pass those. So our 8th graders and your 5th graders, when they get there, those are the 2. Some of your students will be taking algebra here. You have to be in the algebra course to take the algebra part. It's not like you take the algebra and say, I'm going to take the part when I get up to the high school. That's not an option. Algebra 1, you're in the course, you have to take the algebra part and pass it to count as a high school graduation requirement. And then once you've done it, it's done. That one's done. You have to take the geometry part as well, but that's not a high school graduation requirement. Let's say that they did not pass it here. Then what happens? There's a few options. They could retake the course in high school and try it again. They also, once they get up to Algebra 2, if they pass Algebra 2 part, well, then that's participating part of an algebra one, so that counts too. And I'm not sure you want to wait till your junior year and put all those eggs in that one basket. So those people who are enrolled in Algebra 1 or Geometry, if you're thinking Park is not the thing for you, it has to be because you need it for graduation, whether it's here or not. Questions? Yes? It's home ec, it's cooking. It's cooking. I think she does teach them at 1 grade level, so on buttons.
Sixth grade, they do very little hand stuff.
Hand sew, yes.
So that's
And separate.
So band at this moment is run after school, and they get lessons throughout the day. So they come out of different classes every week for their band lesson, and the band is run. Like I said, there's different levels of band, but that's done after school, either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
And there was an expo question. Okay, about Expo. If your students participate in Expo, or you'll be getting, we have co-gets back, we're in the process of getting the mail next week, so you'll be getting those very soon. Those students who are eligible for Expo will have another decision to make, because you either go into our Expo program, which will be a semester, or you take electives, because that is an elective block. So students who are currently in the Expo or already in the Expo program, you'll be notified, and you'll have to make a decision. You're either taking Expo for the 2 quarters, or you're picking 2 electives. That will be a choice. Expo is our Gifted and Talented program. It stands for Expanding Opportunities. Expanding Program Opportunities. You'll be finding out in this very soon, because the co-get scores are back, and then there's several ways that people will qualify, so new members come in. But there are families that choose not to take it in 6th grade because they want to do electives, and they've been doing Expo for a few years, so I mean, there's just choices that you families do. Questions? General questions? Yeah. Sure, go ahead. If they had a pre-algebra and they got a B+, then we would really look at other criteria as well. We look at their assessment. They're going to take an aptitude assessment as well. And typically when the student goes on, we have really one cohort that has gone all the way through. They started in pre-algebra as 6th graders and now are in geometry as 8th graders. We really have not had students move out of the program unless there was a conversation with families, and it was usually the very first quarter of pre-algebra that was the right thing. Or if it's close, then the aptitude test, these are students that are in there for an aptitude for algebra, so they seem to do well in the aptitude test, and we really haven't had to lose students because of that. Other questions? Other questions, general questions? Well, I really appreciate it. I hope this is helpful. I know it's a lot of information to take in. I am hosting a live webinar on April 25th at 6 o'clock. It will be like the last one that I did if you participated, and I will send out a link, and you can sign up if you have more questions or you want to go through this again, or if you have friends or neighbors that weren't able to make it tonight, they could go through this with me in the live webinar. You can also contact me if you have very specific questions for your child. Just contact me, because I do realize it's confusing and you aren't sure what path to take. You will find out by June what we recommend, and know that your teachers really do take into a lot into consideration. They're already starting this process. It takes months, even your younger ones in elementary school, months to decide which teacher and which class, to really sort it out and try to get the best fit for your students. And that's really all we want, is the best path